Hey everybody. So I told you I was going to do another video here after I climbed out. Pretty much did. It wasn't horrible. Had some pretty weird side effects. Nothing over the edge other than the nausea and everything that I said the last time. Not bad. Not bad at all. You know, for now. It's going to progressively get worse as I continue taking the drug, and that's just by its nature. As I continue to go and progress and take it, it'll be harder and harder to climb out. So the first time it took me, well, I'm still not right. I'm still really tired. So it's Friday. I took it Monday. So you do the math, and probably when I start getting into it and we're going to ramp this drug up, like this is just the beginning phase, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And I'll eventually never climb out of it, but the hope is that my cancer doesn't either, so that's kind of the game we play. I have to ask everybody, if you're watching this video, just share it. Share it with everyone. I'm trying to get this out to as many people as I can, because you never know. There might be some young guy or some person, man or woman, starting this, and it's always good. I've talked to a lot of folks throughout the years of first-time cancer patients that I've spoken to, and really told them what to do, and they've come back and said, "Wow, that really helped." So that's kind of my intentions with doing this video. Trying to just get it out there and help people. But I think the worst side effect that I got was 2 days ago, and it was a mental side effect. I mean, I know a lot of you that are my friends and stuff on here, you're like, wow, you're amazing. I see the comments, I read them, and by all means, I read every one, and I try to answer all the questions the best I can. But I know even for me, the mental part of it catches me. And I know I'm a funny guy. I make everybody laugh all the time. It's just my nature. But to say that the mental side of it, that it doesn't hit you all the time, would just be a blatant lie. It really is. Sometimes I have bad nights, like the night I had the other night where I didn't sleep at all night long, which makes everything else worse because you don't have any sleep, and sleep's important. When your body's getting wrecked like this chemically, and the war that's going on inside your body, sleep and taking care of yourself is the #1 priority. But I had a mental night. It wasn't a mental breakdown. I mean, it wasn't, but I just had bad things rolling through my head, bad thoughts, bad nightmares, just bad stuff all the way around. And to say that, a person doesn't have that would just be completely out of line, especially somebody in my situation. You can't run from it. You can't. It's better to deal with it. It's better to talk about it. Sometimes I talk about my mental problems. Actually, a lot of time I talk about it with my wife, Becky. Sometimes I talk to my parents. Sometimes I talk to my friend. I talk to everybody. And like right now, I'm talking to you guys about it. And that's just the best thing to do. The problems that I'm dealing with, and even the problems some of you guys are having, such as life, they're greater than just one person. And to try to attack that head on, just like with cancer or something like that, it's impossible. And it's quite frankly really stupid. And I say that not to be mean, but I say that because I'm only one brain. I'm only one mind. I'm only one perspective and one opinion. Maybe I can't find what's right in front of my face to help fix my problems, or to do something to make my situation better, or my mental capacity better. Maybe I can't do that. Maybe I can't control my emotions myself. And that's not a weak thing to say. It's incredibly brave. It takes a lot of testicular fortitude and integrity to say that and to be open about it. It's a hard thing to do. It took me a long time to realize that. But if I reach out and I talk to other people like my wife and everybody that I said, Now I have a bunch of brains. And if you do the math, 3 or 4 brains are way better than one, especially when you're the one faced with the problem. So that's how I deal with things. And yes, I am a very, by nature, positive, motivated, self-motivated person. I mean, I think my track record speaks for itself, but even for me, I have horrible days like that, mental days. Doesn't happen very often. For the most part, I have a good grip on this, and my personality allows that to happen very well. But it bites me in the ass sometimes. It really does. And I'm perfectly okay with that. You know what I do? I deal with it. I understand the gravity of my situation. I understand the weight that's on my shoulders and, what I have to do. So those days I just stop and I deal with it and I talk about it. And I don't hold anything back. I'm not here to shelter, for example, my wife. I'm not here to. I've been literally... I couldn't shake the army in me, but I've been training my wife for the worst possible case scenario. And that was really weird. That was something that we had to grow and do together and adjust together. But, I needed her on my right-hand side. I needed her there because sometimes even I have to lean on her. So I don't hold anything back. And some of the thoughts that go through my head sometimes are not the prettiest. But I did. It was actually 2. It was... I think it was Wednesday and Thursday. Well, yesterday, there were just 2 really bad nights. Just couldn't sleep. My brain was running with just negative thoughts and just, playing the game of what if, and then it takes off and runs and plays scenario out. It's like I just can't control it sometimes. And that was something and a lot of that is tied to the medications. It throws you for hormonal loops. It throws you for everything. Your body does weird things in response to try and cope because your body is an amazing machine. If you don't think of your body as a machine, you're running on bad knowledge. It's like the best biomechanical machine ever invented on the face of this earth. It goes in everything you've ever been taught. The fuel that you put in your car. I mean, the car, like my car's sitting there. If I put junk gas in it, it runs like crap. It's a sports car. It's going to run like garbage. If I put good fuel in it, same thing like you're putting in your mouth. If you eat good food, your body produces good things. And it's such a great machine. And when I poison my body trying to fight this disease, it tries to adjust. It tries to cope. And it will do off-the-wall shit. I mean, it is surprising. And I laugh. And I think this is why my doctors and my oncologist love me so much, because I'm just like, I just start laughing. I could be so horrible, so devastated and sick, and I've done it. And I just start laughing because I'm like, well, that's new. Why is it doing that? And I'm like, well, okay. It was just my body. It just reacts and tries to find a way. It tries to survive. And a lot of that times, it's a mental thing. Somebody doing shit like I do, playing that game, the dangerous game. High stakes, got my life in the balance, and I'm making decisions, and, it does. It weighs on you. And that's normal. I like to think that's the little bit of human that's left in me. And I embrace it. I do. I would be a fool not to. And I think that's what makes me stay normal too. Like on an even keel, it makes me stay humbled because, I am a warrior. I really am. I'm a warrior through bloodline. I'm a warrior through my heart, through and through, every ounce of me. That's why I've been able, I owe a lot to that, especially, with the military and training and stuff. I've used that. I've used everything that I've ever known how to fight against this fight. And I've gotten a lot smarter because of it. It's a good fight. And like I said, the mental game is nothing. You can't mess with that. You gotta address it. Now, that goes across the board for everybody's life, and that's why I wanted to talk about it this time. Instead of talking about how I feel and being all humdrum, I wanted to talk about that step. Because, an old drill sergeant of mine way back in the day, and I hate to default to the Army, I really do, I hate it, but the guy was right, and you got to give credit where credit's due. He always told me, where your brain goes, your ass will follow. So if you don't address your brain, you're going to put your ass in a bad position. And that is exactly how I approach that. And that's why I am able to stay positive. That's why I'm able to fight, keep myself in high spirits, keep that mental focus, and to not lash out on anybody. Because when I first started this, I was so mad. It didn't last extremely long. I adapted and overcame, but I was just so mad. I didn't understand why. I didn't understand it. I didn't know what the hell was happening to me. I was 24 years old. What the hell did I know? I was 24. I mean, I knew how to fix helicopters and do Army stuff, but I didn't know anything about this. I didn't know. I didn't even know it was possible. I thought, in my ignorance, I thought, cancer was something I wouldn't have to deal with. Maybe down the line later after I have, 30, 40 years of life experience, maybe then, but I didn't have any of that. So I had to baptism by fire, acquire that knowledge and skill set, and I had to do it quick. And it wasn't easy, and it took me a long time, and I was blessed to be here a long time, to even acquire that knowledge, and even be as so bold to sit here and tell you guys about it. It took me a long time, but that's what I did. These last 2 days have just been talking about my brain, just, talking about it with everyone. I talk about my wife, like I said, my parents, my friends, talking about it with you guys, talking about my struggles, because I'm only one brain, and 50 brains or even 5 brains at the least is way better than just one. And if you can work together as a team and accomplish your goal, man, now you don't got to worry about that anymore. Move on to the next. So that's what I did. I took some time, I talked, and I spent some time with family. This might be a surprise to my wife this time, because I really didn't discuss much with her. She knew I had a couple bad nights, and she knows what that means, but I reached out to some other folks. Sometimes it's just good to have different perspectives, and got myself back ready for the fight, just like that. Now, I could have held that in. I could have held that in and never said anything to anyone, and it just kept eating me alive, and my problems wouldn't have went away. I'd still be sitting here right now thinking about it and dragging it along, and life's hard enough to run through shit that life throws at you with all that baggage and chains pulling you behind. Cut ties with that shit and just keep driving forward, man. Keep in the fight. It's not easy doing that. That was a big step for me, and I'll be the first to admit it. I know a lot of folks look up to me for a lot of different reasons. I don't deserve it, but you do. But that was a big step for me, was I actually throw it out there and not even sugarcoat it. Just say it. This is how I feel. This is what I'm thinking. I don't know why, but I am. And when you do that, it's such a good release, and then everybody knows exactly what the problem is. I mean, how can somebody help you if you don't tell them exactly what the problem is? If you tell them a sugar or watered down source, of it, it makes no sense. But it did, so I feel a lot better now. Like I said, lifted me up, cleaned me out, recharged, ready to hit her again. Motivated, I guess. I don't like being motivated for this. This sucks. This fight, the cancer fight sucks, I'm telling you. It's like the worst roller coaster. By the time you start feeling good, guess what? Monday's coming around, boom. As soon as I get this handled, now it's going to be every Monday and Wednesday. I'm never gonna dig out of it, and that's by design, and it's tough. A couple people ask me questions on private message, and I do. I read all the questions, and I think what I'm going to do is how I'm going to structure this is I'm going to take your questions, and I'm not going to say it. There's no dumb questions. There isn't. The only dumb question is one you ask twice. So, I'm going to tell, and what I'm going to do, like I said, what I'm going to structure is I'm going to read your questions, and then the next video I make, which now you guys see, I'm doing this, and I'm committed. The next video I make, I'm not going to say who asked questions, but I'm just going to talk about your questions. That way we're all involved. I'm just going to talk about them. I'm going to answer them on the next video. And some of the questions I got was, I think I got this question more than once, and that's why I'm going to address it. But they asked, what does like the chemos make you feel? That's a two-part answer to that. How does the chemo make you feel? The first one is the earlier chemos when I started this 10 years ago, most of them are so horrible and strong. And I was young, and I was a big guy and healthy, so they hit me with a brick. And I mean, they didn't hold it back either. Those chemos, they found out over many years that they were actually so devastating that there's no sense of trying to use them because you're killing the patient too, which is not what the purpose of this is. So they don't use those anymore. But what it does feel like is the worst flu you ever had. If you had a terrible flu that you're just sitting there wishing that you would either die or get better, that's what it's like. 24/7, 365 days in the year. And in my case, for about 8 years long. Never quit. Good news is I got used to it. That's what that feels like. The newer drugs, though, to give you hope, the newer drugs that they're using on now, some of them you don't even feel. They are like smart bombs. I mean, the technology and the money that's going into this stuff, cancer fighting and all, is phenomenal. The newer drugs that are in trials right now, they're amazing. And I'm on deck to be heading that way. But I don't even know what those ones are going to make you feel like. But I can only speak for the ones that I'm getting right now, and they're not bad at all, except for the one that I'm on now. But we already knew that going into it. It's a little bumpy, but it worked, and it worked really well. So that's why we're trying it again. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say today. I'm not going to sit here and talk your ear off, but like I said at the beginning, please do hit the share button. Just share it. These videos might reach somebody out there that you know, or maybe you don't know, or somebody that you're friends with, they know, and it just snowballs from there. And if it can help them in any way, that is my full intention. I just want to help. And I've been helping for 10 years. I've gotten feedback from folks that do this, some new cancer patients, and they said it really helps, and that's what I'm doing. And some of the shit I discussed might even help some of you guys. I don't know. I don't want to be that bold and sound that arrogant to say that I can help you with your problems, but maybe something I might say might hit home, and maybe it won't. I don't know. It's worth a shot, though. So, like I said, share it with everybody, and we are gonna have fun with this. I'm not gonna sit here and make it all bad, all sad. That's just not my style. Most of you guys know me well enough to know there's going to be some humor and it's going to be funny. But it has to happen organically, okay? I'm not just going to tell jokes or something. It's just going to be that you're going to laugh because it's me. But all right, well, I hope everybody's staying safe. I hope everybody's, taking this stuff serious and chilling out at home. I know everybody's chomping at the bit to get the hell out. But, it's just like, it's like a fart. It's like a fart. If you force it, it's just going to be shit. So don't force it. Just bide your time, stay home, stay healthy, and all that stuff. So I guess Monday before I do the next round of this, I'm going to drop another video, and we'll just go from there. So it was great to talk to you guys again. I hope everybody, like I said, is doing great. And I will talk to you Monday. See y'all. Maybe, if I could figure this out. There, finish.